Morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, Saturday. We're coming to the end of this, I hope, now, last. The sandblasting material has now turned up, said that last week. The paint should be here on Monday, a bit of luck, and we should be able to start tackling all this rust. I've got the two sandblaster pots in the garden ready, but I'm not sure which one's going to get used at the moment because they're both knackered, absolutely knackered. Now, I thought we'll do some small jobs today, just to keep the day ticking over, and that is the bump stops. So I've welded that plate onto the back. They are absolutely knackered, these things, and I've chopped down the excess height because if you remember I put airbags on and I put new hammer blocks on the axle, and I closed the gap a little bit. So by closing the gap, it means you've got to open the gap with the bump stops. I shouldn't think I even need to put them on because there will be a level of air in the bags anyway that should stop them from hitting, but I've done it anyhow. I'm going to put them on. I think they'll get through an MOT. They'll either will or they won't. If they don't, I'll have to replace them with new for now. But I'm running low on cash at the moment. Well, I say running low on cash. I have no cash. The last fiver I had, I give to the wife. So, yeah. Okay, I don't know how many of you have been paying attention on the videos. I know there's a lot of you that are just skipping through because, well, some things just don't interest you. Probably me yapping half the time. However, any one of you that have been paying attention will know that this carpet was absolutely filthy. Big stain. It's gone. This is under the seat. There is still a stain there, but ain't nowhere near as bad as it was. And also, what you don't know, because I haven't told you, is all the rust has been sanded back that I could find and hammer-righted. I've put the floor plates for the step back on with large washers underneath, but I don't know how well that's going to hold out because the washers are almost the same size as the bloody holes that they've put in. I didn't realise that. I could have done with some bigger penny washers. I was almost getting to the point where I was going to pick a load of 50p's up, drill holes in the middle of them and stick them underneath. But I ain't got any 50p's, so it never got done like that. Otherwise I would have done. So we've done both sides. As I said, we're doing all the little stuff now. When we power wash this back, you see, if I don't put the seats back in, oh, I wonder what's going on over there. Oh, I know what it is. There's a motorbike over there and somebody's complained. No money on it. Whoa, this has never been as clean as it is now. Don't get me wrong, a few little specks here and there because there was crap on the seats and I put the seats back in with that crap on. Wife's going to come in here tomorrow anyway, duster. We'll go over it again with Hoover one more time. Probably a waste of time because for what I use it for, the dog goes in here. I've had scraps sitting on the back seats, although I want to get the other seat from the yard. I want to cut it in half and put a platform at the back with a cushion and padded with staples, so the dog has got a whole platform to sit on. That's what I want to do, with a ramp for him to get in and out of. In fact, it's not what I want to do, it's what I should do. Anyway, we've just got the trims to put back in now. The mats have got to be scrubbed. Still debating about that gear stick at the moment. And I sat in this earlier and thought to myself, it's 3 inches higher. This is going to be good. Didn't feel like there was any damn difference whatsoever. Really weird. Until I got out, I nearly fell out. I forgot where the floor was and the fact that I don't have any steps. So I nearly fell flat on my face. Okay, the bulba has been sandblasted. We have experimented with this stuff. It's a type of silica. I can't really explain, but it's got a real heavy grit. I've got 4 bags, well I've got 3 now because I've just wasted one, doing this. Now the power washer, that stuff's too heavy. The power washer can't push it. We tried, didn't get me very far, nor did it get me very quickly. However, I then pulled out the sandblaster, which was given to me a fair while back, and instead of running it through the pot, I put hose on the end and just went straight into the bag, and actually that did an extremely good job. However, the sand that was left, or the grit that was left, wiped it out pretty flaming quickly. So a chassis, 3 bags, not going to be enough. I genuinely don't know how much sandblasting costs today. I had some done nearly 17 years ago, and I paid the best part of 300 quid to have a sandblasted Land Rover chassis, and then another 150 on top of that to get some black paint put on it, which went rusty within 3 weeks. That was a waste of time. So yeah, this is the cheapest option I can come up with. The only thing that's annoying me is there's a lot of large holes for this stuff to go through. So, but we'll start with the back. We'll wipe out one bag to do the back. We'll wipe out another bag if we can to do the 2 halves. And then another bag and anything that's left over on the floor to do all underneath there, and see how we go. And it may have to be split over a period of days. In fact, I may very well do this one first and then immediately paint this and the bumper at the same time. I've got 4 cans of paint. As you can see from my scruffy face, we've done a lot of wire brushing and no sandblasting at this point. We're just trying to get rid of as much of the heavy ingress as possible. But we've hit another snag. We've hit 2 snags. One is not such a big deal. The other one is a massive deal. So we've got a rot hole just down there. I don't know if you can actually physically see that. That can just be lightly welded up and we'll be fine. But behind this one, somewhere behind here, and I can't remember where it is, there is a hole that, to be honest with you, I'm very surprised. Where are we? There it is. It's there. I think there's a hole. I put it like this. I put a bolt through that side, tapped it with a hammer, and it came right out the other end. So, bloody hell, this thing is getting on my nerves now. I found the chassis number. I mean, that's a start, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm going to continue what we're doing because I haven't got the welder this week anyway. I won't get that till next week if it comes back. So I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, but I'm not going to do anything around that fuel tank area. I'm going to leave that alone now. I'll clean up and paint up on the outside edge because that side is all good down to there. So we'll carry on wire brushing. We'll sandblast because I can't get wire brushing there. Well, I can a drill, but ain't going to do much. So we'll clean that all up as best as possible with a wire brush and a drill, and then sandblaster after. Well, the sandblasting didn't go as well as it could have. So in the end, most of this has been done with a wire brush, to be honest, on a grinder, and I've done the best I can. Look, it's a hell of a lot better than it was before, that's for sure. So I've highlighted the engine, the chassis number. I've also done behind here. I've just got a little bit of de-rusting to do on the front bumper, and I've also sprayed this in a kind of a neutral rust gloop. Literally just sprayed it everywhere. Mixed it with water as you're supposed to do, and any residue rust it finds, it sends it black. However, I'm not sure if the stuff's any good, because not all the rust has gone black. So there you go. We can but try. Well, Thursday, it does feel like 2 steps backwards, 1 forward most of the time with this truck, which is really annoying. Anyway, Raptor. And that's what we did this morning. We literally watered it down to get it to go as far as we could get it to go. Wire brushed back all the rust. Keep my truck on the road as long as it possibly can be. So, we've done the front, we've done under there, but we've only done that outside edge and the seals. We haven't done the inside edge yet. We've done the back. I mean, it's looking good. We had a little bit of a mishap here because there was hammerite on this and it lifted, but I ain't really too worried about that. So, we've also done in here, but we've got a lot of rust tucked away, so I've got to get a professional to sandblast that body down underneath. I can't do that myself, not here in this yard, so we're going to have to find somebody who knows what they're talking about. It's going to cost me some money, but be worth it in the long run. You are not coming out, it's too hot. You'll be puffing and panting. Right, I forgot to show you the bumper. And that's all you're going to get to see for the moment. Transit van bull bar. Long story behind that, I'm not explaining that. It's actually quite a funny one. Not to the person that lost it, but it's still a funny one. So I've got to drill 4 holes out now, and the what do you call it? Winch has got to go on. Well, I've been sitting around walking the dog, and then when I got back I thought, I know what, we'll put the winch back together ready for tomorrow, and I'm getting rid of the chrome grill and replacing it with a black grill. Well, actually I'm painting it. So we sanded that all back. That's a plastic primer. That is now ready for the matte satin black, but I've left the grill badge chrome, and I've also put that back together because I would like to be able to put the neoprene cover over the whole thing, and that will go back on that, and that will be bolted back on tomorrow. A bit of luck, I may even go as far as putting the spots on. I don't know yet, we'll see. But the trouble with my pickup truck is I'm getting fed up of it. It was only ever meant to be a whole repair. Ended up being a full-on bloody restoration. Well, if you can call it that. So we are coming to the end. We are slowly winning. There's the grille and the bumper, all painted up. I was going to weld them holes up, but I changed my mind because I just couldn't be bothered. If you want the honest truth, I just could not be bothered. The winch is in. I cannot get my air horns to work in there. There's not enough space, so I am going to order a triple train horn, which will be 1 pipe and 1 wire, and that just makes my life a hell of a lot easier. The grill is done, but we've now had a little mishap with that because I took it indoors to keep the flies off it, and I went and clobbered the side of the grill next to the kettle and tried to rectify it, and yeah, I ballsed it up, and I've now run out of paint anyway, so that, as far as I'm concerned, is going on regardless. So just waiting for my lad to get back, and we will carry that bumper around and put it on. I'll be glad when this is over. Anyway, the next thing to do is to put the wheels back on the back, put the grill on, put the bumper on, fire this thing up, move it over to here, move that over to there. I'm going to cover this up with a plastic sheet because I don't want sparks all over it. And we're going to start next week plasma cutting all of the floor out, or as much as I can get rid of anyway. A lot of the struts are probably shot, but we'll see what we end up having to remove and what we end up having to put back. Well, guys and girls, there you go. Pretty pleased with that. that's not all, is it? Because we've done all of that, and we've just got the inside of the chassis to do next, and behind the tank. So we've got some steel at last that was donated to me. We've got that tub to do, and we've got a hole over there. Now I've got some decent, I will cut a big piece out, and I may very well weld both inside edges up if I can find a decent hole saw, because I've got inspection holes, and what I don't want to do is weld straight over the top, because any water that gets in the chassis will get between the layers. So if I can cut inspection holes out bigger, I can then weld it around the holes, you see, and that will stop that from happening, and I can do that to both sides. So I think we will reinforce that with 6mm if we can. Not really a massively big deal, provided my plasma cutter can cut it, and at the moment that ain't doing too well. That gun I bought is not a very good gun. I'm not very happy with that. I might go back to that horrible old Cut 50 instead of the AG 60, I think that's what it's called. Next week, the fuel tank's got to be dropped. Both sides got to be welded up, and we're going to cut the floor out on this and see what we can do about replacing. We'll probably use the 3mm stuff or 2mm, and we'll build a new frame using that, and then we'll put the checker plate on, get some sealants and start gluing everything down, and then we'll try clean up all the rust as much as we can, where on the panels where I'm not going to lose the panels, you know, where they're staying, and I'll see if I can't get some bed liner on that, clean it all up, and go from there really. And these sidey pieces, we'll make our minds up at a later date what we are actually going to do with them, because I've still got some wheels to fit that are a lot wider, and they will stick out a lot further than those wheel arches, and I'm kind of thinking to myself, actually now that I said it earlier, I sow my own seed in my head on that one, and I'm thinking about making that more utilitarian, if that's the right word to use, with the 2 lockers or something. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Not only that, I can hide the compressor. I've got a Nissan, no I haven't, I've got a Navara sticker, 2 Navara stickers coming, which I want to put on the bottom of the doors, so I want to paint the bottom of the doors up. I've got 2 Nissan circular stickers coming, in that style, but with a Japanese and English flag, so I'm thinking about putting them on the bumper somewhere, but I might have to sort of draw around, smooth that area out, and then put the stickers on, and one for the tailgate, because I ain't got one on the tailgate. And I still don't know what I'm doing about the rat rod in the garden, but what I am debating about doing is nicking the winch off it, and finding a way of putting that on the back. That's kind of where my head is going with it. I don't know, we'll see. It's just, I'm just thinking about it at the moment, toying with the idea, I don't know. As you all know, money is not really something that we have a luxury of anymore, any of us. So whether that rat rod's going to get finished or not, I don't know. At this point, let's put it like this, it might just stay on the back burner for a very long time, and then the government will come in and change more laws, and just make it harder for us to exist in this planet, and then I'll end up having to flipping throw it away, won't I? That's what I think will happen. They're already toying around with the licence laws for over 70s and health. You spend all that money passing your damn test, and now they're trying to take your licence away from you. Yeah, anyway, it's all subject, I suppose, for some people, but I don't like it. Couldn't vote this time round either. Took our vote away, didn't they? Trying to amalgamate 3 counties into one, and they took our vote away, and I was furious about that. I told them so on the Labour website. A bunch of tosspots is what I called them, which is exactly what they are. Anyway, there you go, that's it for this week. Thanks for joining me, thanks for your likes and shares on the previous video. I hope this works for you. Rather chuffed with that. And we'll do that next week, and the holes. going to clean the tray up on, you know, the bash trays, and we're going to clean that tank up and make sure we've got no rust holes, and clean it all out as well and put fresh diesel in. We've got to look out that pump, haven't we? £2 that cost. Got to look out that pump, and we'll have to extend the filler as well. But if I do what I said I was going to do on the walls, then I may change that completely anyway. Right, laters. See you next week.